Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're stepping back in time to unpack one of the most profound, literally mind-bending philosophical texts in human history, the Yoga Vasistha. If you've ever found yourself questioning the fundamental nature of reality, well, you are exactly in the right place. We're going to specifically explore the rich classical teachings found in chapter 16 of this text. I'll be your guide as we prepare to impart some seriously ancient wisdom that completely redefines how we understand the soul, the mind, and even the very concepts of space and time. So, get comfortable. Here is our path of inquiry for today. We'll start with the seeker's great question, move into the illusion of Maya, explore time, space, and mind, uncover the ultimate reality, discuss the path of renunciation, and finally, look at achieving liberation. All right, let's start with section 1, the seeker's great question, the catalyst for wisdom. Okay, let's dive into this. To really understand chapter 16, we first need to set the scene. We have this classical, timeless dynamic playing out. There's the seeking disciple, Prince Rama, who is deeply, profoundly disillusioned with the material world. And then there's his enlightened master, sage Vashishtha. Rama is experiencing a massive existential crisis. In verses 20 and 21, he poses this incredibly heavy question to his guru. He asks, how does this infinite universe, filled with suffering and duality, come into existence, and how can one escape it? Now, this exact query is the catalyst for the entire philosophical deep dive that follows. Rama doesn't just want platitudes. He wants to know the absolute, unvarnished truth of existence. And Vasishtha's answer is going to shift Rama's entire paradigm. That brings us to section 2, the illusion of Maya, deconstructing the physical world. Vashishtha actually begins his answer by deconstructing the physical world itself. Through the lens of verse 12, he introduces this absolutely crucial concept of Maya. Maya is the cosmic illusion. You can think of it as a veiling power. It takes the unmanifest, non-dual reality, meaning a reality where everything is seamlessly one, and makes it appear as a physical universe of endless multiplicity and separation. Essentially, Maya tricks our senses into believing that the material world we touch, see, and hear is absolute and permanent. It's the ultimate magic trick.
And this brilliantly illustrates the contrast we have to grasp. We really must clearly distinguish between the absolute reality, which is known as Brahman, that's formless, eternal, and totally unchanging, and the perceived illusion of Maya, which is physical, temporary, and bound by dualities. You know, things like pleasure and pain, hot and cold. Vasishtha tells Rama that finding equanimity in this chaotic world of Maya only comes from recognizing that our physical, dualistic world is just a fleeting projection of that eternal absolute truth.
To make this massive concept of an illusory reality a bit more easily digestible, Vashishtha uses a really powerful classical metaphor. He says, the world is like a reflection in a mirror or a dream appearing within the consciousness. Think about that for a second. When you are deeply asleep and dreaming, that dream world feels incredibly real, right? It has its own gravity, its own timeline, its own intense consequences. But the very second you wake up, you realize, oh, that was all just happening inside my own consciousness. Vashishtha is telling Rama that our everyday waking physical world operates on that exact same principle. Which naturally begs the question, how is this cosmic illusion actually generated? Let's move to section 3, time, space, and mind, the architects of illusion. So if the world is essentially a dream, who exactly is the architect? The answer lies in the profound Sanskrit term sankalpa. Sankalpa translates to the mind's powerful capacity for intention, will, or imagination. But listen, it's not imagination in the way we usually think of it, like daydreaming. The Yoga Vasistha posits that the mind is not just passively observing a pre-existing universe. No, through sankalpa, the mind is actively projecting and constructing the very illusion of space and time themselves.
Now, prepare to have your mind blown a little bit. In verses 17 and 18, Vashishtha presents this incredibly radical theory of time and space. He says time is entirely subjective. A single, tiny, flickering thought, just a microsecond, can actually contain the subjective experience of an entire human lifetime, or even a kalpa, which is a massive cosmic epoch. Because time is a construct of sankalpa, of the mind, a whole lifetime or a cosmic eon can exist entirely within a single moment of the mind's projection. There is absolutely no objective past or present out there in the physical world. It only exists as a sequence within your mind.
So the crucial point is this, and you'll want to remember this. As is the mind, so is the world. Our entire multidimensional reality is bound to our mental conditioning. If your mind is turbulent, well, the world is going to appear chaotic to you. If your mind is still, the universe reflects that peace, because the universe is born entirely of consciousness. Mastering the mind literally equates to mastering reality itself. Okay, so if the mind is just projecting an illusion, what lies beneath it? Section 4, the ultimate reality, understanding Brahman. In the ancient Vedantic cosmology of the Yoga Vasistha, this ultimate, foundational reality is called Brahman. We define Brahman as the infinite, unconditioned, pure consciousness. It pervades absolutely all things. We're talking every single atom, every thought you have, every galaxy out there. Yet it remains forever untouched and completely unblemished by them. It's like the silent, unchanging canvas upon which the entire painting of the universe is drawn. Or, to use another analogy, it's the deep, still ocean upon which all the chaotic waves of existence rise and fall.
The text gives us this profoundly beautiful verse. Brahman alone is true. In Brahman, by Brahman, Brahman is perceived. The literal English meaning here is that there is only one actual substance in all of existence. The deep philosophical implication of this is huge. It means there is absolutely no separation between the observer and the observed. You, the consciousness listening to me right now, and the worlds you are currently experiencing are entirely woven from the exact same fabric of Brahman.
That's some heavy metaphysics, right? So how do we actually live with this knowledge? Let's look at Section 5, the path of renunciation, practical spiritual application. Vashishtha doesn't just leave Rama with abstract theories. He provides a very logical sequence for actually deconstructing our mental illusions. Step 1 is to restrain worldly desires, which in Sanskrit are known as vasana. These are those deeply ingrained mental impressions and habits that constantly pull our attention outward into the illusion. Step 2 is to subdue the ego, or ahankara. That's the false sense of I as a separate, isolated physical body. And step 3, once those desires and the ego are finally quieted, the mind naturally just dissolves right back into its source, which is pure consciousness. But what is absolutely vital to understand here is that classical renunciation in the Yoga Vasistha isn't about running away to hide in a cave somewhere. It is purely an internal state. It means you keep performing your daily worldly duties. You do your job, you fulfill your family roles, but you do it all without any attachment to the outcome. It means maintaining total equanimity whether you're experiencing pleasure or pain. It's about seeing the ultimate reality in all the beings you interact with and neutrally offering the results of all your actions back to Brahman. Essentially, you act fully in the world, but you are not of the world. Which leads us to the final stage of the disciples' journey. Section 6, Achieving Liberation, Waking from the Dream. The ultimate goal of all these teachings is to become what is called a Jivan Mukta. This wonderful Sanskrit term translates to one who is liberated while still living. You see, salvation in this text is not some distant reward that happens after you die. Not at all. It is an active, waking state of absolute clarity that you experience right here, right now. A Jivan Mukta experiences the world. They interact with it. They laugh and work, but they are never bound by its illusions. Because they recognize the ultimate truth, it's like they finally see the harmless rope sitting in the corner instead of hallucinating a dangerous snake. So, to summarize the incredible journey of Chapter 16, we've moved from Rama's deep despair, we recognized the illusion of Maya, we explored how the mind's sankalpa constructs the very concepts of time and space, all to uncover the silent, unchanging Brahman. We must realize that liberation is not a destination you have to travel to. You cannot walk to Brahma because you already are Brahman. Salvation is merely recognizing the truth that was always right there. It is quite simply waking up from the dream of the mind. As this chapter seamlessly sets the stage for the next canto of Vasishtha's teachings, I want to leave you with this final, truly profound question for your own self-inquiry. If your entire world, including the very space you take up and the time you experience, is just a projection of the mind, who is the silent witness watching the projection? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this deep dive into Chapter 16 of the Yoga Vasistha has sparked a profound curiosity for your own spiritual journey. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.